The Urantia Book, Section 1, The Central and Super Universes. Paper 15. The Seven Superuniverses, Part 1. As far as the Universal Father is concerned, as a Father, the universes are virtually non-existent. He deals with personalities. He is the Father of personalities. As far as the Eternal Son and the Infinite Spirit are concerned, as creator partners, the universes are localized and individual under the joint rule of the creator sons and the creative spirits. As far as the Paradise Trinity is concerned, outside Havona there are just 7 inhabited universes. The 7 super-universes which hold jurisdiction over the circle of the first post-Havona space level. The 7 master spirits radiate their influence out from the central aisle, thus constituting the vast creation one gigantic wheel, the hub being the eternal Isle of Paradise. The 7 spokes, the radiations of the 7 master spirits, the rim, the outer regions of the grand universe. Early in the materialization of the universal creation, the sevenfold scheme of the super-universe organization and government was formulated. The first post-Havona creation was divided into 7 stupendous segments, and the headquarters worlds of these super-universe governments were designed and constructed. The present scheme of administration has existed from near eternity, and the rulers of these 7 super-universes are rightly called Ancients of Days. Of the vast body of knowledge concerning the super-universes, I can hope to tell you little, but there is operative throughout these realms a technique of intelligent control for both physical and spiritual forces, and the universal gravity presence there function in majestic power and perfect harmony. It is important first to gain an adequate idea of the physical constitution and material organization of the super-universe domains, for then you will be the better prepared to grasp the significance of the marvelous organization provided for their spiritual government and for the intellectual advancement of the will creatures who dwell on the myriads of inhabited planets scattered hither and yon throughout these 7 super-universes. One, the super-universe space level. Within the limited range of the records, observations and memories of the generations of a million or billion of your short years, to all practical intents and purposes, Urantia and the universe to which it belongs are experiencing the adventures of one long and uncharted plunge into new space. But according to the records of Uversa, in accordance with older observations in harmony with the more extensive experience and calculations of our order, and as a result of conclusions based on these and other findings, we know that the universes are engaged in an orderly, well understood, and perfectly controlled professional swinging in majestic grandeur around the first great source and center and his residential universe. We have long since discovered that the seven superuniverses traverse at a great ellipse, a gigantic and elongated circle. Your solar system and other worlds of time are not plunging headlong without chart and compass into unmapped space. The local universe to which your system belongs is pursuing a definite and well understood counterclockwise course around the vast swing that encircles the central universe. This cosmic path is well charted and is just as thoroughly known to the superuniverse star observers as the orbits of the planets constituting your solar system are known to Urantia astronomers. Urantia is situated in a local universe and a superuniverse not fully organized. And your local universe is in immediate proximity to numerous, partially completed. Partially completed physical creations. You belong to one of the relatively recent universes, but you are not today plunging on wildly into uncharted space nor swinging out blindly into unknown regions. You are following the orderly and predetermined path of the universe space level. You are now passing through the very same space that your planetary system or its predecessors traversed ages ago. And someday in the remote future, your system or its successors will again traverse the identical space through which you are now so swiftly plunging. In this age, and as a direction is regarded on Urantia, superuniverse number 1 swings almost due north, approximately opposite in an easterly direction to the paradise residence of the great sources and centers, and the central universe of Havona. This position, with the corresponding one to the west, represents the nearest physical approach of the spheres of time to the eternal isle. Superuniverse number 2 is in the north, preparing for the westward swing, while Number 3 now holds the northernmost segment of the Great Space Path, having already turned into the bend leading to the southerly plunge. Number 4 is on the comparatively straightaway southerly flight, the advanced regions now approaching opposition to the great centers. Number 5 has about left its position opposite the center of centers while continuing on the direct southerly course just preceding the eastward swing. Number 6 occupies most of the southern curve, the segment from which your super universe has nearly passed. Your local universe of Nebadon belongs to Orphanton, the 7th super universe. Which swings on between super universes 1 and 6, having not long since, as we reckon time, turned the southeastern bend of the super universe space level. Today, the solar system to which Urantia belongs is a few billion years past the swing around the southern curvature, so that you are just now advancing beyond the southeastern bend and are moving swiftly through the long and comparatively straightaway northern path. For untold ages, Orphanton will pursue this almost direct northerly course. Urantia belongs to a system which is well out towards the borderland of your local universe, and your local universe is at present traversing the periphery of Orphanton. Beyond you, there are still others, but you are far removed in space from those physical systems which swing around the great circle in comparative proximity to the great source and center. 2. Organization of the super universes. Only the Universal Father knows the location and actual number of inhabited worlds in space. He calls them all by name and number. I can give only the approximate number of inhabited or inhabitable planets, for some local universes have more worlds suitable for intelligent life than others, nor have all projected local universes been organized. Therefore, the estimates which I offer are solely for the purpose of affording some idea of the immensity of the material creation. There are 7 superuniverses in the grand universe, and they are constituted approximately as follows. 1. The system, the basic unit of super government, consists of about 1,000 inhabited or inhabitable worlds, blazing suns, cold worlds, planets too near the hot suns, and other spheres not suitable for creature habitation are not included in this group. These 1,000 worlds adapted to support life are called a system. But in the younger systems, only a comparatively small number of these worlds may be inhabited. Each inhabited planet is presided over by a planetary prince, and each local system has an architectural sphere as its headquarters and is ruled by a system sovereign. And for Urantia, this system sovereign was Lucifer. And the place where Lucifer lived was Satania. Satania is the headquarters system of Urantia. Second, the constellation. 100 systems, about 100,000 inhabitable planets make up a constellation. Each constellation has an architectural headquarters sphere and is presided over by 3 Vorondadek sons, the Most Highs. Each constellation also has a faithful of days in observation, an ambassador of the Paradise Trinity. And then we have the second or the third, the local universe. 100 constellations, about 10 million inhabitable planets constitute a local universe. Each local universe has a magnificent architectural headquarters world and is ruled by one of the coordinate creator sons of God, of the order of Michael. Each universe is blessed by the presence of a union of days, a representative of the Paradise Trinity. For the minor sector, 100 local universes, about this is a one with 9 zeros. Inhabitable planets constitute a minor sector of the super universe government. It has a wonderful headquarters world where from its rulers the reasons of days administer the affairs of the minor sector. There are 3 reasons of days, supreme Trinity personalities on each minor sector headquarters. And then 5, the major sector, 100 minor sectors, about 100, 9 zeros, so 100, and then 9 zeros. Inhabitable worlds make one major sector. Each major sector is provided with a suburb headquarters and is presided over by 3 perfections of days. Supreme Trinity personalities. And then 6, the super universes, then major sectors, about 1, and then 12 zeros. Inhabitable planets constitute a superuniverse. Each superuniverse is provided with an enormous and glorious headquarters world and is ruled by 3 ancients of days. And then we have number 7, the grand universe. 7 super universes make up the present organized grand universe, consisting of approximately 7 trillion inhabitable worlds. Wow. Plus the architectural spheres and the 1 billion inhabited spheres of Havona. The super universes are ruled and administered directly and reflectively from Paradise by the 7 master spirits. The billion worlds of Havona are directly administered by the Eternals of Days, one such Supreme Trinity personality presiding over each of these perfect spheres. Excluding the Paradise Havona spheres, the plan of universe organization provides for the following units: super universes 7, major sectors 7T, minor sectors 7,000, local universes 700,000, constellations 70 million, and local systems 7. Yeah, it's a 7 with 9 zeros. And then inhabitable planets. This is a 7 with 3, 6, 9, 12 zeros. Each of the 7 super universes is constituted approximately as follows. One system embraces approximately 1,000 worlds. One constellation is 100 systems, 100,000 worlds. One universe is 100 constellations, is 10 million worlds. One minor sector is 100 universes, is 1 billion worlds. One major sector is 100 minor sectors, is I think 100 billion worlds. It's a 0. It's a 1 with 3, 6, 9. Ja. Even kijken hoor. So one major sector is 100 minor sectors, is 100 3, 6, 9. It's 100 with 9 zeros. One super universe is 10 major sectors, and then is 1 trillion worlds, round about that. It's a 1 with 3, 6, 9, 12 zeros. I'm not very into these things of numbers and so on. All such estimates are All such estimates are approximations at best, for new systems are constantly evolving, while other organizations are temporarily passing out of material existence. Sorry for the way of reading, but This is the way it has been written sometimes in English is very unhandy. They sometimes use words and or the sentences are not really going smooth. 3. The super-universe of Orphanton. Practically all of the starry realms visible to the naked eye on Urantia belong to the 7th section of the grand universe, the super-universes of Orphanton. The vast Milky Way starry system represents the central nucleus of Orphanton, being largely beyond the borders of your local universe. This great aggregation of suns, dark islands of space, double stars, globular clusters, star clouds, spiral, and other nebulae, together with the myriads of individual planets, forms a watch-like elongated circular grouping of about 1/7 of the inhabited evolutionary universes. From the astronomical position of Urantia, as you look through the cross-section of nearby systems to the Great Milky Way, you observe that the spheres of Orphanton are traveling in a vast elongated plane. Well, most astronomers do not even know that they are watching at Orphanton. So you are watching at Orphanton. The breadth being far greater than the thickness, and the length far greater than the breadth. Well, all right. This is quite technical, and what I say, sometimes the sentences are not going smooth. Observation of the so-called Milky Way discloses the comparative increase in Orphanton stellar density when the heavens are viewed in one direction, while on either side the density diminishes. The number of stars and other spheres decreases away from the chief plane of our material super-universe. I don't know actually why they are explaining this in such a way, because for most of us, our minds even cannot grasp this information. When the angle of observation is propitious, gazing through the main body of this realm of maximum density, you are looking toward the residential universe and the center of all things. Of the 10 major divisions of Orphanton, 8 have been roughly identified by Urantian astronomers. The other 2 are difficult of separate recognition because you are obliged to view these phenomena from the inside. If you could look upon the super-universe of Orphanton from a position far distant in space, you would immediately recognize the 10 major sectors of the 7th galaxy. The rotational center of your minor sector is situated far away in the enormous and dense star cloud of Sagittarius, around which your local universe and its associated creations all move. And from opposite sides of the vast Sagittarius subgalactic system, you may observe 2 great streams of star clouds emerging in stupendous stellar coils. The nucleus of the physical system to which your Sun and its associated planets belong is the center of the one-time Andronover Nebulae. Not Andromeda, but Andronover. So maybe the whole name Andromeda is also incorrect and should be Andronover. This former spiral nebulae was slightly distorted by the gravity disruptions associated with the events which are attended upon the birth of your solar system and which were occasioned by the near approach of a large neighboring nebulae. This near collision changed Andronover into a somewhat globular aggregation, but did not wholly destroy the two-way procession of the suns and their associated physical groups. So your solar system now occupies a fairly central position in one of the arms of this distorted spiral, situated about halfway from the center out towards the edge of the star stream. The Sagittarius sector and all other sectors and divisions of Orphanton are in rotation around Uversa, and some of the confusion of Urantian star observers arises out of the illusions and relative distortions produced by the following multiple revolutionary movements. 1. The revolution of Urantia around its sun. 2. The circuit of your solar system about the nucleus of the former Andronover Nebulae. 3. The rotation of the Andronover stellar family and the associated clusters about the composite rotation gravity center of the star cloud of Nebadon. 4. The swing of the local star cloud of Nebadon and its associated creations around the Sagittarius center of their minor sector. 5. The rotation of the 100 minor sectors, including Sagittarius, about their major sector. 6. The whirl of the 10 major sectors to the so-called star drifts about the Uversa headquarters of Orphanton. So Uversa is the headquarters of Orphanton. The movement of Orphanton and 6 associated super universes around Paradise and Havona. The counterclockwise processional of the super-universe space level. These multiple motions are of several orders. The space paths of your planet and your solar system are genetic inherent in origin. The absolute counterclockwise notion, or motion better said, of Orphanton is also genetic inherent in the architectural plans of the master universe. But the intervening motions are of composite origin, being derived in part from the constitutive segmentation of matter energy into the superuniverses and in part produced by the intelligent and purposeful action of the Paradise Force organizers. And later we shall know whom they are. The local universes are in closer proximity as they approach Havona. The circuits are greater in number and there is increased superimposition, layer upon layer. But farther Out from the eternal center, there are fewer and fewer systems, layers, circuits, and universes. 4. Nebulae, the ancestors of the universes. Well, let's hope that this reads a bit better. While creation and universe organization remain forever under the control of the infinite creators and their associates, the whole phenomenon proceeds in accordance with an ordained technique and in conformity to the gravity laws of force, energy, and matter. But there is something of mystery associated with the universal force charge of space. We quite understand the organization of the material creations from the ultimatonic stage forward. Why are they using words no one knows? So, the material creations from the ultimatonic stage forward. But we do not fully comprehend the cosmic ancestry of the ultimatons. This is not reading. But we do not fully comprehend the cosmic ancestry of the ultimatons. We are confident that these ancestral forces have a paradise origin because they forever swing through pervaded space in the exact gigantic outlines of paradise. Though non-responsive to paradise gravity, this force charge of space, the ancestor of all materialization, does always respond to the presence of nether paradise, being apparently circuited in and out of the nether paradise center. Well, I truly hope that some people understand this. The Paradise Force organizers transmute space potency into primordial force and evolve this pre-material potential into the primary and secondary energy manifestations of physical reality. When this energy attains gravity responding levels, the power directors and their associates of the super universe regime appear upon the scene and begin their never-ending manipulations designed to establish the manifold power circuits and energy channels of the universes of time and space. So we have also to do with manipulators. Thus this physical matter appear in space, and so is the stage set for inauguration of universe organization. This segmentation of energy is a phenomenon which has never been solved by the physicists of Nebadon. Their chief difficulty lies in the relative inaccessibility of the Paradise Force organizers for the living power directors, though they are competent to deal with space energy, do not have the least conception of the origin of the energies they so skillfully and intelligently manipulate. Well, Paradise Force organizers are nebulae originators. They are able to initiate about their space presence the tremendous cyclones of force which, when once started, can never be stopped. or limited until the all-pervading forces are mobilized for the eventual appearance of ultimatonic units of universe matter. Thus are brought into being the spiral and other nebulae, the mother wheels of the direct origin suns and their varied systems. In outer space there may be seen 10 different forms of nebulae, phases of primary universe evolution, and these vast energy wheels had the same origin as did those in the 7 superuniverses. Nebulae vary greatly in size and in the resulting number and aggregate mass of their stellar and planetary offspring. A sun-forming nebulae just north of the borders of Orphanton, but within a super-universe space level, has already given origin to approximately 40,000 suns, and the mother wheel is still throwing off suns, the majority of which are many times the size of yours. Some of the larger nebulae of outer space are giving origin to as many as 100 million suns. Nebulae are not directly related to any of the administrative units, such as minor sectors or local universes. Although some local universes have been organized from the products of a single nebulae, each local universe embraces exactly 100,000 part of the total energy charge of a superuniverse, irrespective of nebular relationship, for energy is not organized by nebulae. It is universally distributed. Not all spiral nebulae are engaged in sun-making. Some have retained control of many of their segregated stellar offspring, and their spiral appearance is occasioned by the fact that their suns pass out of the nebular arm in close formation, but return by diverse routes, thus making it easy to observe them at one point, but more difficult to see them when widely scattered on their different returning routes farther out and away from the arm of the nebulae. There are not many sun-forming nebulae active in Orphanton at the present time. Though Andromeda, they speak about Andromeda here, though Andromeda, which is outside the inhabited superuniverse, is very active. This far distant nebulae is visible to the naked eye, and when you view it, pause to consider that the light you behold left those distant suns almost 1 million years ago. The Milky Way galaxy is composed of vast numbers of former spiral and other nebulae, and many still retain their original configuration, but as the result of internal catastrophes and external attraction, many have suffered such distortion and rearrangements as to cause these enormous aggregations to appear as gigantic luminous masses of blazing suns, like the Magellanic Cloud. The globular type of star clusters predominates near the outer margins of Orphanton. The vast star clouds of Orphanton should be regarded as individual aggregations of matter comparable to the separate nebulae observable in the space regions external to the Milky Way galaxy. Many of the so-called star clouds of space, however, consist of gaseous material only. The energy potential of these stellar gas clouds is unbelievably enormous, and some of it is taken up by nearby suns and redispatched in space as solar emanations. Point 5. The origin of space bodies. The bulk of the mass contained in the suns and the planets of a super universe originates in the nebular wheels. Very little of super universe mass is organized by the direct action of the power directors, as in the construction of architectural spheres. Although a constantly varying quantity of matter originates in open space, as to origin, the majority of the sun's, planets, and other spheres can be classified in one of the following, 10 groups. 1. Concentric contraction rings. Not all nebulae are spiral. Many an immense nebulae, instead of splitting into a double star system or evolving as a spiral, undergoes condensation by multiple ring formation for long periods. Such a nebulae appears as an enormous central sun, surrounded by numerous gigantic clouds of encircling ring appearing formations of matter. 2. The world stars embrace those suns which are thrown off the great mother wheels of highly heated gases. They are not thrown off as rings, but in right and left-handed processions. World stars are also of origin in other than spiral nebulae. 3. Gravity explosion planets. When a sun is born of a spiral or of a barred nebulae, not infrequently it is thrown out a considerable distance. Such a sun is highly gaseous, and subsequently, after it has somewhat cooled and condensed, it may chance to swing near some enormous mass of matter, a gigantic sun, or a dark island of space. Such an approach may not bear enough to result in collision, but still near enough to allow the gravity pull of the greater body to start tidal convulsions in the lesser, thus initiating a series of tidal upheavals which occur simultaneously on opposite sides of the convulsed sun at their height. These explosive eruptions produce a series of varying sized aggregations of matter which may be projected beyond the gravity reclamation zone of the erupting sun, thus becoming stabilized in orbits of their own around one of the two bodies concerned in this episode. Well, later on, the larger collections of matter unite and gradually draw the smaller bodies to themselves. In this way, many of the solid planets of these lesser systems are brought into existence. Your own solar system had just such an origin. Then we go to the fourth centrifugal planetary daughters. Mouthful. Enormous suns, when in certain stages of development and if their revolutionary rate greatly accelerates, begin to throw off large quantities of matter which may subsequently be assembled to form small worlds that continue to encircle the parent sun. 5 gravity deficiency spheres. There is a critical limit to the size of individual stars when a sun reaches this limit unless it slows down in revolutionary rate. It is doomed to split, sun fission occurs, and a new double star of this variety is born. Numerous small planets may be subsequently formed as a byproduct of this gigantic disruption. 6 contractural stars. In the smaller systems, the largest outer planet sometimes draws to itself its neighboring worlds, while those planets near the sun begin their terminal plunge. With your solar system, such an end would mean that the 4 inner planets would be claimed by the sun, while the major planet, Jupiter, would be greatly enlarged by capturing the remaining worlds. Such an end of a solar system would result in the production of 2 adjacent but unequal suns. One type of double star formation. Such catastrophes are infrequent except out on the fringe of the superuniverse starry aggregations. 7 cumulative spheres. From the vast quantity of matter circulating in space, small planets may slowly accumulate. Cumulative spheres, okay. They grow by meteoric accretion and by minor collisions. In certain sectors of space, conditions favor such forms of planetary birth. Many an inhabited world has had such an origin. No. Some of the dense dark islands are the direct result of the accretions of transmuting energy in space. Another group of these dark islands have come into being by the accumulation of enormous quantities of cold matter, mer fragments, and meteors circulating through space. Such aggregations of matter have never been hot, and except for density are in composition very similar to Urantia. Well, finally, we're almost there. 8. Burned out suns. Some of the dark islands of space are burned out isolated suns, all available space energy having been emitted. The organized units of matter approximate full condensation, virtual complete consolidation, and it requires ages upon ages upon ages for such enormous masses of highly condensed matter to be recharged in the circuits of space and thus be prepared for new cycles of universe function. Following a collision or some equally revivifying cosmic happening. And then 9, collisional spheres. In those regions of thicker clustering, collisions are not uncommon. Such an astronomic readjustment is accompanied by tremendous energy changes and matter transmutations. Collisions involving dead suns are peculiarly influential in creating widespread energy fluctuations. Collisional debris often constitutes the material nucleuses for the subsequent formation of planetary bodies adapted to mortal habitation. And then the last one, architectural worlds. These are the worlds which are built according to plans and specifications for some special purposes, such as Selfington, the headquarters of your local universe, and Uversa, the seat of government of our super universe. There are numerous other techniques for evolving suns and segregating planets, but the foregoing procedures suggests the methods whereby the vast majority of stellar systems and planetary families are brought into existence. To undertake to describe all the various techniques involved in stellar metamorphosis and planetary evolution would require the narration of almost 100 different modes of sun formation and planetary origin. As your star students scan the heavens, they will observe phenomena indicative of all these modes of stellar evolution, but they will seldom detect evidence of the formation of those small non-luminous collections of matter which serve as inhabited planets. The most important of the vast material creations. And I end at the end of 6 because this is a 20 pages counting paper. So I do this in 2 parts. And then 6, for now the last. The spheres of space. Irrespective of origin, the various spheres of space are classifiable into the following major divisions. 1. The suns, the stars of space. 2. The dark islands of space. 3. Minor space bodies, comets, meteors, and planetesimals. 4. The planets, including the inhabited worlds. And 5. Architectural spheres. Worlds made to order. With the exception of the architectural spheres, all space bodies have had an evolutionary origin. Evolutionary in the sense that they have not been brought into being by fiat of deity. Evolutionary in the sense that the creative acts of God have unfolded by a time-space technique through the operation of many of the created and eventuated intelligences of deity. The suns, these are the stars of space in all their various stages of existence. Some are solitary, evolving space systems. Others are double stars, contracting or disappearing planetary systems. The stars of space exist in no less than 1,000 different states and stages. You are familiar with suns that emit light, accompanied by heat, but there are also suns which shine without heat. Well, the trillions upon trillions upon trillions of years that an ordinary sun will continue to give out heat and light will illustrate the vast store of energy which each unit of matter contains. The actual energy stored in these invisible particles of physical matter is well nigh unimaginable, and this energy becomes almost wholly available as light when subjected to the tremendous heat, pressure, and the associated energy activities which prevail in the interior of the blazing suns. Still other conditions enable these suns to transform and send forth much of the energy of space which comes their way in the established space circuits. Many phases of physical energy and all forms of matter are attracted to and subsequently distributed by the solar dynamos. In this way, the suns serve as local accelerators of energy circulation, acting as automatic power control stations. The super-universe of Orphanton is illuminated and warmed by more than 10 trillion blazing suns. These suns are the stars of your observable astronomic system. More than 2 trillion are too distant and too small ever to be seen from Urantia. But in the master universe there are as many suns as there are glasses of water in the oceans of your world. The dark islands of space, these are the dead suns and other large aggregations of matter devoid of light and heat. The dark islands are sometimes enormous in mass and exert a powerful influence in universe equilibrium and energy manipulation. The density of some of these large masses is well nigh unbelievable, and this great concentration of mass enables these dark islands to function as powerful balance wheels, holding large neighboring systems in effective leash. They hold the gravity balance of power in many constellations Many physical systems which would otherwise speedily dive to destruction in nearby suns are held securely in the gravity grasp of these guardian dark islands. It is because of this function that we can locate them accurately. We have measured the gravity pull of the luminous bodies, and we can therefore calculate the exact size and location of the dark islands of space, which so effectively function to hold a given system steady into course. Minor space bodies, the meteors and other small particles of matter circulation and evolving in space, constitute an enormous aggregate of energy and material substance. Many comets are unestablished wild offspring of the solar mother wheels, which are being gradually brought under control of the central governing sun. Comets also have numerous other origins. A comet's tail points away from the attracting body or sun because of the electrical reaction of its highly expanded gases and because of the actual pressure of light and other energies emanating from the sun. This phenomenon constitutes one of the positive proofs of the reality of light and its associated energies. It demonstrates that light has weight. Light is a real substance, not simply waves of hypothetical ether. So, light is a real substance, not simply waves of hypothetical ether. Then the planets. These are the larger aggregations of matter which follow an orbit around a sun or some other space body. They range in size from planetesimals to enormous gaseous liquid or solid spheres. The cold worlds which have been built up by the assemblage of floating space material when they happen to be in proper relation to a nearby sun are the more ideal planets to harbor intelligent inhabitants. The dead suns are not as a rule suited to life. They are usually too far away from a living, blazing sun. And further, they are altogether too massive. Gravity is tremendous at the surface. In your super universe, not one cool planet in 40 is habitable by beings of your order. Your order means mortals. So mortals are not really able to live there, but maybe other beings can. You could say terrestrials or celestials. And of course, the superheated suns and the frigid outlying worlds are unfit to harbor higher life. In your solar system, only 3 planets are at present suited to harbor life: Urantia, in size, density, and location is in many respects ideal for human habitation. The laws of physical energy behavior are basically universal, but local influences have much to do with the physical conditions which prevail on individual planets and local systems. An almost endless variety of creature life and other living manifestations characterizes the countless worlds of space. There are, however, certain points of similarity in a group of worlds associated in a given system. While there also is a universe pattern of intelligent life, there are physical relationships among those planetary systems which belong to the same physical circuit and which closely follow each other in the endless swing around the circle of universes. And with this said, we have come to the first part of this long paper. This what is all about the seven super universes. My apology for the not so smooth reading of this paper so far. What I say, the energy signature in the sentences are not always smoothly. There's a lot of technical language in it, and yeah, I will do my best the next time to read it, the next part, more smoothly. So, thank you so much so far for listening to this audio video. And, well, I would say buy yourselves a copy of this Oranje book yourself so you can read this paper completely yourselves. And then you will probably, like my brain does, experience that your brain cannot cope really this information, and that's also part of the unsmooth reading that my brain is doing overwork at the moment in getting some understanding of the information of what I have read so far. All right, again, my apology for this disturbinal way of reading. I do my best to have it the next time more smooth. All right, thank you so much again for listening to this audio video, and I wish you all a beautiful, joyful, loving, and smooth day, and God bless you.